All right, we're back. We're back. Oh no. Okay, so you shaking your head. So what's up?
And I know that like we were gone for DreamCon in a bit, so I haven't really been like checking our Instagram like DMs like that. We've been just posting pics and stuff like that. But man, our sugar mama comments about Sonya
Oh
have
no.
backfired. I checked my individual DMs and some of the most out of pocket things that I have ever seen. I think the people that listen to this podcast are not who we think listen to this podcast. And I've been like deleting like some of like the podcast ones for like our joint ones, but
Oh,
there's one that's out of pocket. I don't know if you saw it or not. If you check it right now,
no, I didn't. I don't think I want to.
just real quick, just check it.
Oh,
And it's the second one.
oh no. No. I'm scared. I'm scared. The heck is this? The heck is
Yeah,
this?
exactly. Bam. I wish we could read it out loud, but it's so out of pocket. So,
Oh.
fam, literally a bottle and a bib is one of the most wild things I've ever read.
Nani?
So we can't say that anymore.
And I thought Sword of the Jedi coming after us was enough.
I think we need the legal speakle.
The purpose of this podcast is to explore digital and print media. All sources we reference are owned by their respective companies. Our thoughts and opinions are strictly our own. They reflect no biases or corporate agendas, y'all. Your discretion is advised. We're not R. Kelly out here.
Chill. I mean, I feel like the people that were messaging us were trying to get us in the reverse part of that.
Don't let's move on.
Moving on. We are finally bringing the Secret Invasion finale episode for so with that 6 episodes strong final episode. So let's get the final pulse of the people. What have you been hearing? What have people been telling you?
Whoo! Oh man, they think that this is one of those where the show was good and then it flopped right at the end. I've been getting a lot of the yeah, no, this wasn't it crowd, like how the ending basically ruined the series type of beat, you know?
Yeah, for me, I think it was like it was trying to get out of third gear. I've never driven a stick before, so I don't know what that means. But it was trying to like move forward, and then it hit the ending, and there would be several things that we talk about where it was just like that was a very interesting choice that you decided to do. So I think it's definitely from what a lot of what I've been hearing, people have been telling me one of Marvel's worst projects so far, and I can't help but not agree with that. So, with that, we're going to get into a quick breakdown recap of it. It's been, a week and a half since it's came out or so, but yeah, we're just going to break it down. We're going to get into our final big questions, kind of cover it, give it a simple tier of the show, either hit or miss, and then kind of what we expected, look back at our predictions in the past, and then predictions moving forward before also giving listeners a mailbag that we promised in our weekly episode. So let's
Yep.
get into the recap.
All right, so where do we begin? It starts off with our girl Vara. She gets a call from a certain man, a certain one eye patched man named Nick Fury, and he on the warpath. He basically tells her like, "Hey, it's about to go down," and without saying a word, he's like, "I might not make it out of this,"
Mhm.
basically. And she's like, "Oh, will you be coming back?" And he's just like, "I'll see you later." Type of
Yeah.
beat. I'm like, "Dang, this might be raps for your boy Nick Fury."
Yeah.
And then it goes to him going to these new Skrullos in the form of a car just driving up on the compound, and all the Skrulls decide to say, we're gonna shoot first and ask questions later." They really on they actually what I was about to say about to get us canceled.
Sundown town activity.
I was about to say a certain LAPD type of activity, but
But we're moving forward.
let's move it on. Let's move it on. Yeah. So after they realized that the car was empty, pop pop. Fury was out here on timing, eliminated them all. And
Mhm.
then he's walking into this very, very irradiated compound. Because if you remember, Skrulls are unaffected by radiation.
Right.
And so they chose the most irradiated place in Russia to hold up. So Fury's kind of getting the COVID treatment. He getting a full dose of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He getting the whole Chernobyl minus the after effects of it. You know, getting some coughing fits. He has to take some pills in order to keep the radiation at bay. Otherwise, it's wraps. And just FYI, he ain't turning into the Hulk for that from that radiation. So just keep that out of your mind right now.
And then in the parallel storyline, we have, or timeline, we have out of pocket scroll Rhodey, just like,
Brody?
yes, who is the definition of thou doth protest too much, like trying extremely hard to get the president to get on the strike. And we're going to talk about the president and his races behind later. But with that, really just trying to get the president to blow up New Scrollos and kick off World War III. And then you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. Sugar Mama Sonya is back. She she saves the president, and then we kind of cut back to New Scrollos again. So we see the poison is killing Fury, and then Gravik admitted it that like all he cares about is just having the harvest. And then also he called Fury Tellus weak for leading his people. So they kind of have a heart to heart. It's not the biggest heart to heart in the world with it, but it's just kind of, it reveals, quote unquote, some things that we kind of like, we're wondering about Fury. We see why Gravik, he's actually really hurt that like you gave up on us. And then presumed Fury, if you've seen the episode, you know what happens. But presumed Fury says like, hey, I gave up a long time ago because I knew that we couldn't find y'all a new home, which in this very, very big universe, the fact that you couldn't find a home is kind of ridiculous. And then also, like we mentioned before, I feel like Fury shouldn't be the one responsible for finding them a new home. But moving forward with that, hands over the harvest, and then we get into it.
Yep, and I'm just saying, Carol Danvers, where were you? But essentially, what happens afterwards, and also let's talk about how Scrody is probably one of the biggest instigators. You know, he's trying to win his big the me personally award of
Yes,
all time. And I'm just like, you trying way too hard, bro. You gonna get clapped if you keep trying this.
I know.
And
Thou
so
doth protest too much.
yep. So what happened is that of course Gravity activates the machine to get everybody's powers and to get Nick, and basically Nick Fury is hit with a bunch of radiation. So Gravik in his whole mind, he's like, oh yeah, I'm big dog now. So and now you can die, big sir. And he tries it only to get backhanded out of the building.
Yes.
Because it's revealed that wasn't Nick Fury. That was Gaia. And she was in the machine too. So she's super Skrull. She's super Skrullified with the
Scroll Queen prediction.
She's super Skrullified, and she able to do everything that Gravik can do, and all the Avengers and all the antagonists, including Thanos, can do. So it was raps for your boy. It was raps for Gravik. I'm not even gonna hold you. And then at the same time, you get to see Nick Fury. He go pop pop, the real Nick Fury pop pop in the hospital, and we get the standard Western showdown, if you will, with Ritson holding a gun at Fury, Fury holding a gun at Scrody, Sonya having a gun at Scrody, and Fury's just like, listen, bro, he yo op. Scrody is yo op, and you really need to get lock in. Believe me, sir. And then when Scrody decided to talk too much, pop pop, and you realize, and then that's when Ritson was like, I was talking with a dirty scroll the whole time.
Yes.
I was about to call him something else, but I was like, whoa, I ain't trying to get canceled again.
Yeah, so that actually made me sad because our Armor Wars discussion was then nullified from there.
Yeah, it's fine. Like it actually also confirmed something else, but I'll talk about that at the end.
Okay.
So after that, we cut to Gaia and Gravik throwing hands at each other, using every single power that we've seen from Gaia, using ghost power from Ant-Man and the Wasp, to using what was his name from the Black Order, Squidward, using Squidward.
Oh yes, Ebony Maw.
Yeah, Ebony Maw's powers, using Carol Danvers' powers, and they were both going back and forth until Guy decides to use the power of Mantis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right. She used Mantis' powers on him, made him go to sleep, and he came crashing down. And then Gravik had to spit out one more one-liner. It's like, you just like your daddy, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she blew a hole right in his chest. She donutted him.
Welcome to the squad.
Welcome to the donut squad. You can hang your scroll arm to the left. You can hang your hat to the right, and come join Rengoku, Ace, Ichigo, and Elia and Yamcha and Goku. All y'all donuts. And oh yeah, we got a Shipley's in the back for you.
All right, we can't talk about this fight without ignoring the big elephant in the room. This CGI was horrendous. The memes for the rest of eternity because of this fight.
I was saving it. I was saving that to the end. I was
All
saving
right,
it to the end.
You want to talk about it later then?
I really did, because I was like, bro, I can't. But you brought it up now, so we might as well get into it.
Yes.
What was that? What was that? That was so atrocious, bro. And I've seen atrocious movies. Bro, this makes Jar Jar Binks look good. Bro, this makes stuff from the this makes Goodbye Kids 3D look good, my guy. Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
I put in my notes, it's still better than the Flash CGI, but it was bad.
Oh yeah. Nothing can make the Flash CGI look good, but yeah, it's like, bro,
the Drax arm. Why?
I was like, bruh, Drax's arm, Hulk's arm, Abomination's arm,
but wait,
Thanos' arm.
You know what doesn't make any sense of why they like showed the arms? Because when she was Fury and she punched Gravik, she still had the strength of literally all those characters. So she didn't need to change like arms to like display that she had the powers of all those characters.
Yeah, and neither did Gravik, but here we are.
I mean, when he was using the group powers and then Extremis, that was fine because of just like the way those powers are used. But like that fight, like when he did, yes, like when he went to Ebony Maw and like he turned into like skinny arm and like used like the force essentially, I was like, what is going on here?
Man, they decided to take that way too far.
Yo, She-Hulk was right. They were right. Everybody that made fun of She-Hulk, apologize.
Oh my goodness. Yep. So yeah, the Kevin program is no longer valid anymore.
The writers for the Kevin program.
Yep, the writers for the Kevin program. Hey, they are on the SAPTA strike. She-Hulk needs to come back and fix this. She needs to do to that what she did for her show. Just basically just erase it.
That was the Drax arm memes that will happen for the rest of eternity. Why are y'all doing this to my girl Emilia Clarke, man? Making these terrible finales.
Look, she's going from Khaleesi to Zamasu. And that's a super double entendre.
Yes.
What she did in Game of Thrones.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, but
let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
We all know that was bad. So just kind of wrapping up. Well, I guess not wrapping up, but we see that everything is quote unquote saved, but then towards the end of it, Ritson declares all out war on the scrolls. And there's something that I'm going to talk about later, but you can technically know how some of the scrolls are like scrolls because there are a lot of people that got saved. Oh, one thing with Rhodey, we see that our boy, a lot of people like were freed from like the compound.
Yep.
Agent
Ross
was freed. We see Rhodey, he was freed and his legs were not working. So that kind of like ties into something that you're going to mention later. And then also just kind of with that. So that's how one way you can find out like who's a scroll. But again, Scrolls do not need to have someone kidnapped and mind melded in order to be them. Gravik was literally Nick Fury in the first episode. So that shows that scrolls can literally be anybody they want to at any time, as long as they like, see them or something like that. So like that doesn't make sense where he was like, oh, we know who you are. We know how to find you. It's like scrolls don't even know how to find scrolls, which I will, again, talk about later. So with that, he declares all out war. So I think that's going to tie into kind of the Captain America movie, which should have been named New World Order and not Brave New World based on how this ended. But the direct sequel is the Marvels. But going from there, we see Ritson declares war. Fury calls him out for it. Sugar Mama Sonya teams up with Gaia. So that's going to be interesting because now she's the most powerful being in the entire MCU. We have a final conversation between Vara, who tells Nick Fury to call her by her African name and not her Christian name. So with that, she turns into a scroll and they kiss, which shows that finally he accepts her for who she is truly. With that, and then he takes her up to space, and then the Marvels is going to kick off. But I wonder, they say Marvels is a sequel, but it feels like it might also be like around the same time-ish for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't feel like it's going to be like boom to boom,
It could. I mean, well, the trailers do show like Fury was on Saber, so. Mm-hmm. But then again, trailers lie, so we can't take anything for anything anymore.
And then one thing where I was like, okay, it kind of cleaned up too nicely was all of a sudden the Krees can talk after like 30 years or so. Now the Krees can talk. And we went through all of this.
Now they want peace negotiations.
After the Skrulls just tried to take over Earth.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's convenient timing. I'm not even going to hold you. Y'all need to get it together. But yeah, so Fury is essentially back up on Saber with his wifey, and now, as you said, like it sets up the Marvels now, as they're now another new status quo shift in the social political scene for the MCU. Mm-hmm. Which, good heavens, have we not talked about race enough in this franchise?
I mean, I kind of like where they went with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier with that, especially how they had Isaiah Bradley. But I feel like now they're going to use the Skrulls as a surrogate, so they don't have to really talk about race. But we can move forward from there. So with that, anything else you have from the recap?
No, not from the recap. We covered it all.
All right. So MVP of the show.
Ooh. Let's see. The person who I'm gonna give not the MVP for is the animators. Oh yeah. So MVP, I'm gonna say Gaia, all right? Because she did murder Gravik.
Yes.
And she really donated Gravik. She really out here like made everybody think that she was Nick Fury, except for me, because I was like, ain't no way he's gonna like get in there like that. Mm-hmm. And the fact like she was still committed to the bit to where like she was coughing in situations where she was completely alone. Mm-hmm. I was like, and she was taking pills as if somebody was watching. I'm like, nah, you way too committed to the bit. You made too committed to the part. But mm-hmm. But yeah, she's definitely an MVP of the episode.
Of the entire show. Who would you call MVP?
Oh, MVP of the entire show.
Yes.
Woo! Oh man, that one's a bigger loaded question.
See, I want to go Sugar Mama Sonya, but she wasn't in enough episodes for me to do it.
Same. I kind of Fury, but then again,
I feel like Fury was kind of slack in those first 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's like he was kind of doing way too little.
I'm gonna go Sugar Mama Sonya. It's our show. We can do what we want.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Sonya. I'm giving it to Sonya just because she was too smooth with it. Mm-hmm. What Fury should have been.
So we already inducted Gravik into the Donut Hall of Fame. This is our first official Blurred City Donut inductee. There will be more in the future, so get ready for that. All right, so here with this, we can get into our final big questions of the show. Doesn't have to purely relate to the show, but starting with that in your questions, let's go to tiers, hit or miss, and then kind of explain why. relating to questions. That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I guess first things first. Oh, we starting with the questions first or the
Either way, but yeah, at the end of it or at the start, you could go hit or miss.
okay, so for me, as like a tier in the tier, I say it's a hit. Sure, the last episode kind of slapped me right in the face in terms of visuals, but overall, the story is basically how Stella got her groove back, but Nick Fury, how Nick Fury got his groove back, and just how like, hey, you got scrolls and you got invasions, but like the whole secret invasion premise was lacking a lot of secrets or invasion or invading or even like I know they were trying to make it semi more grounded by like, okay, they're pretending to be like political figures, but like, bro, the whole thing about secret invasion is that like it was the superheroes who got taken out. You
That
just
don't
have
sound like a hit you describing, my friend.
don't worry. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So in essence, like when it comes to that, Fury, he did come back. The last episode really slapped me in the face. And my first main question is, in what universe would you think that I would ever give this a hit?
Oh, you got me. You hit me with the jujutsu. Yo, applause. Applause.
See, because not only that, but also is the fact that throughout the entirety of the show, I had gotten replaced with a scroll, okay, and I had to fight for my life. Y'all killing me with this, man. I had to come back from the grave to see that somebody recorded all the episodes of the Secret Invasion finale, and I had to basically catch up to hear what my doppelganger has been doing. So all these wild and out pocket speculations and things he said, and I'm not here for it. Okay, the real Rogue Meech is back. The real one who's critical of everything. The real king. Your God himself is here. All right. And this was not it, Chief. The Scroll Queen can come run my fade because I am tired of all of the slander that I have been getting for something that a scroll has said about me. Okay. Whoa. Sorry about that. I got into like a large tangent there, but
You're good. You're good.
I had to get out of my chest because this was not it. This honestly, like this was probably, I wouldn't say it was the worst show, but it's definitely down there.
What would you say is worse then?
Still for me, Thor: The Dark World.
That's not a show.
I don't MCU product, okay?
Thank you. Okay. That's fair.
MCU product. Thor: The Dark World. No, scratch that. No, Thor: Love and Thunder is.
Oh my god.
Because you did my boy Gore dirty. Okay, so yeah, the Thor movies down diabolical.
All right, so for me, I'm gonna go with a miss because it was fun recording the like recap episodes, but there were definitely weeks where we were like, I was like, yeah, we're definitely forcing it to like be good and stuff like that and entertaining. But here's why I think the show missed. Terrible CGI aside, there were two questions that I repeated every week on this podcast about the show that I wanted to be answered. Explain why Fury left. So I'm gonna start with that. Here's why I'm saying you needed to explain that. And if you would explain it in the Marvels, it doesn't help Secret Invasion. So I'm gonna say that right now. If you explain why Fury left early, and like you'll be like, hey, we're on Fury's side initially. When everyone's like bashing him, it's like we understand why Fury did this initially. So you're already defending him. But if you tell it late, then it's like you're also like, oh, you have sympathy for Fury. And it's kind of just like, oh, I understand why he did this. And a guy like Nick Fury, who's like alone, who's been an agent his entire life, wouldn't share this. So like an example of like how you could do this. He came back post blip, post Endgame, right? All the Avengers are spread into the wind. Spider-Man, nobody remembers who he is. Exactly. So he's trying to like save stuff on Earth by himself. With the agents, Shield is fractured, doesn't really have heroes like that. And then one mission goes awry, or something like that, right? So then he goes, "Hey, I can't do this on my own on Earth." Then that's why he creates Saber. So he goes to like create the spaceship, and then he realizes like, and they go like, "Why did you stay up there? Why did you never come back?" And he goes like, "It's easier for me to see the world that I need to protect rather than the faces that I failed with like Infinity War happening." So that's like, oh, we understand why Fury did that. And then also with Saber, he can be like, I was trying to, with the creation of it, I was trying to like honor Tony because I remember he said he wanted a suit of armor around the world. So like when he fails, he realizes that. So it's like him coping with his failure and then also the trauma of getting blipped. So that's something that you could do that where you recognize Fury. And then for the second one, explain if Gaia's mother really died due to Gravik. Ooh. All you literally had to do was in the final episode be like something like, "Hey, did you kill my mother?" And then Gravik could say something as simple as, "She was weak like your father. Look what happened to him." That's the end of it. You don't have to explain it.
Donut him.
You don't have to do anything else. Like even when she like faked like she was dying that one time, she could have been like, "Did you kill my mom?" And he could say yes or no. Like, "You're my boy Meech." If you got isekai and then someone was like, "Hey," and then like I was like a rogue operative now, right? And there's like, "Hey, this dude isekai your boy Meech." I'm like, yo, it makes sense why I'm gonna flip to the side and it's like, okay, now I gotta take you out. But I gotta know if you isekai my boy Meech, right? So just kind of with that was like the big changing moment, and she never got confirmation on it. Talos never explained it. Fury never explained it. So we talked about that numerous times, and it didn't have to be long. And then also, there can be no repentance without acknowledgement of sin, which is exactly why she should have found out if Gravik did that. Another thing, it's not a question, but it's something that got pointed out, which is a huge plot hole, Meech. Remember when Talos told Fury that he's the reason for his rise and all the scrolls are?
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie, a really good movie called Captain America Winter Soldier. In this movie, there's this secret organization called Hydra that almost isekai Nick Fury. You mean to tell me that the Skrulls, who were a secret organization within S.H.I.E.L.D., who could not teleport, shapeshift into anything, anybody at any time, over the 30 years that they were present, couldn't find out that Hydra existed? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, unless you're saying the Skrulls are incompetent.
Hey, look, here's my counter to that. Some Skrulls were Hydra. Some Skrulls were Hydra.
Yeah.
They drunk the Kool-Aid.
That's one way to sweep it under the rug.
They drunk the Kool-Aid. They drunk the Kool-Aid.
So that's where I'm at. That's kind of like my big questions and why I'm like, it was a miss at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. But I do got to give one highlight, and that was something that like I was like, oh, like something that I had literally just remembered, and then like as the show happened, I was like, oh snap, this confirmed it. How you could tell that Scrody was the Skrull the whole time, and it was because of the fact that when you saw Scrody walking, he was walking normal, like just regular, but. Real Rhodey, remember, he had to have an exoskeleton to walk, and he's paralyzed from the waist down. And when it and that should have tipped us off at the beginning. It should have tipped us off that like, okay, he might have gotten like that should have been a Skrull, but as I said, it should have, but it slipped by most of us until it was revealed that he was a Skrull, and it's like, oh snap, that was the indicator the whole time.
I will admit, how they handled Skrull Rhodey or Scrody was the best part of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he was ham. He was a hammer.
Because a lot of the who's a Skrull, who's not a Skrull wasn't that interesting outside of Scrody.
Yeah. But I said, like, it probably would have been much better, again, if it was like based on a comic book where you just had all the superheroes and you did not know which one was a Skrull or not until they started doing wildly suspect activities. But
Yes.
then they start like, actually, you know what? I actually have a better adaptation of this story. No, that goes in our recommendation. That goes in recommendation. There's a much better adaptation of Secret Invasion.
All right. So, any other big questions before we get to predictions?
Uh, why? Why you do this? Um, that's it.
All right. So, let's get to the predictions. Let's just do big picture and maybe the Marvels and then also big picture MCU.
All right. So in terms of like just big picture for the Marvels, I feel like the only thing that's gonna get addressed from Secret Invasion is the fact like, hey, like maybe Carol gets an update on like what happened in Secret Invasion. To the fact that Fury's still is up there on Saber, so we may see him. Maybe we gonna see baby girl Vara up there as well to like again update everybody on the sit rep. And then the other thing would be like seeing the Skrull Kree peace treaty. I think like that's probably gonna be the biggest thing to like link those two movies is because the peace treaty, that is something that is just it's wild in the comics because there's a whole war behind it.
It looks like they have female Ronin in the trailers.
Don't get me started on that. I was like, ain't no way. Y'all just gonna redo that whole character. You just gonna redo that whole character for a second part. All right. I see y'all lost creativity. Know
what? I think I might be a fraud for once. I might need to give superhero movies a break.
I may have to venomize myself to. And you see, I'm holding the symbiote in my hands right now.
I see it.
Like I'm about 3 seconds away from just flipping the lid open, and it's wrapped. Actually, I got two in my hands. I got Venom and I got Carnage. So
Ooh.
if I spill both on me, it's wraps for everybody.
What about Mayhem or Bedlam?
Nah, actually, this is not even Carnage. This is Toxin. So so just give me Venom and Toxin. You know what? It's over. It's wraps for the entire world. Right. But yeah, let's keep on pushing. Another big picture, just overall in terms of just everything. So we know, like at the end of this show, right, that you see people just randomly killing other people to see if they're Skrulls or not. I feel like that's gonna tie in a whole lot heavier in the Captain America movie because you know they gonna be trying to kill a bunch of us.
Yes.
You know they gonna be trying to kill us. And they just gonna like try to put it under the banner of, oh yeah, we were thinking he was a Skrull the whole time. Instead of, nah, I'm just bigoted like that. But yeah, so like I feel like that's gonna carry over, and now you gotta have Captain America try to clean up the mess that Ritson made. Also, Ritson, you are scum, and I'm pretty sure Captain America gonna try his hardest not to just backhand. Either he gonna backhand the president, Rhodey gonna backhand the president, Fury gonna backhand the president, or all three of them gonna backhand the president.
What about Thunderbolt Ross? What is he doing? You know how he treats Bruce Banner, so
unfortunately, he gonna be an op.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
So, do you think we might see the Hulk in that?
Red Hulk?
No, just like our Hulk.
Oh yeah, no.
Big Daddy Hulk now.
Nah. We ain't seeing him in this.
I kind of hope. I need a break from the Hulk.
No, I hope so, just to redeem his character. But and the fact you got Thunderbolt in there, it's like you could easily. It's like, bro, that's prime Red Hulk material.
Yes,
but I feel like, and if you do that, you gonna have to have him confront Banner at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna like bog down the movie because you're already gonna have like Captain America,
but you have the leader in it as well.
Yeah, because I know Leader gonna make him Red Hulk.
Oh my! So you have to have. Well, we don't have to, but I feel like that'd be a post-credit scene with the Hulk.
Yeah, it's like Hulk gonna have to get involved, and it's like
Hulk or She-Hulk. Yeah,
both. They both actually kind of need it because Bruce, he
needs to glow up.
He got soft.
He's a stepdad now, so
Not even a stepdad.
a full daddy.
He he got full on dad jokes now. He got that card.
I was about to keep on this line of train. We got to keep moving. We got to keep.
Yep. Let's keep on moving because I know what you were about to go into. So just go ahead and talk about it.
So with that, stay with prediction. Well, we kind of talked about predictions. I think everything's going to tie into Marvels and then Captain America, New World Order. So moving forward, we can get into our mailbag.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, if I talked about the red door, we'd be here another 30 minutes. Red door and green door.
All right, so we got ourselves some mailbag questions. Let's start with Maran Jojo. Right, he sent us in a couple good ones. Okay, so question number one is: would y'all consider going to a Comic-Con that's outside of y'all city or state?
Yes, I was going to go to the San Diego one, but one of my friends who knows who they are were taking forever to get back at me. So the tickets were sold out.
I was gonna go to San Diego Comic-Con, but the fact that we had DreamCon, I was like, and plus I didn't get tickets on time anyway, so that gives me, and I need to recoup money. All right, your boy eating hopes and dreams right now. So just need to recoup. But yes, absolutely, New York Comic-Con, that one has to be a must for me. San Diego Comic-Con must be a must for me.
That's a bucket list, yeah. All right, next question.
All right, next question is the writer's strike affecting movies in your guys' opinion?
It's affecting timelines of movies, and we've already seen that with like a lot of Sony things getting pushed back to next year, and then also our boy Beyond the Spider-Verse is delayed indefinitely. I don't, because a lot of the movies that are coming out now were already written and already like recorded with like acting and stuff, so I don't know how much of that is being affected, because like with Deadpool 3, like some people aren't allowed to like write on it. So with the strike going on, so I kind of don't know how to say that. I'll say it's just affecting timelines as of now.
Yeah, I agree. It is affecting the timeline of movies and like when certain stuff is getting released. I also know like a couple other movies, like other projects are getting delayed as well. Like some stuff is getting delayed to next year.
Yep.
And I'm just here like, bro, and also because of that, as you mentioned, like with Beyond the Spider-Verse, certain projects are getting delayed. Some cases indefinitely, it's getting pushed back a couple years, or it's getting pushed back until the strike ends.
Yeah, because like some things like Superman Legacy, like James Gunn is the writer for that movie. He is writing the movie, so like no one can stop him from like writing it. Is the things, especially since he's like head of DC creative and stuff like that. But for other projects where it's like they're hiring writers, they can't like write on the project, so it's like completely stopped.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So hey, thank you for your questions, Moran Jojo. Now, the other person. Here we go. Hey, Sword of the Jedi, it's us. I know you're listening. Just know that this is the real Meech, not the scroll one that's been talking really spicy and out of pocket lately. I'm back and just appreciate your support, and I'm disappointed that you didn't realize I was a scroll beforehand. So here's your first question for you. From you, you actually wrote one that we ended up answering. It's like, what do you think Secret Invasion set us up to go? Just listen earlier in the episode. In fact, I already know you are. Let's see. What big things are you expecting from Ahsoka?
Ooh, well, we had a conversation about the timeline because I was slightly confused about when Ahsoka was taking place. But I feel like with the whole clone thing that they did at the end of The Mandalorian, semi-spoiler people, and then also like that we've seen in The Bad Batch, I think that they have a directive at Disney to be like, hey, let's make episode 7, 8, 9 and make a little bit of sense with the cloning and stuff like that. But primarily, it's time to introduce Admiral Thrawn.
Grand Admiral Thrawn, get that straight, sir.
Sorry.
Put some respect on his name. All right, so for me, right, of course, like the main big things is, of course, adapting Heir to the Empire. Of course, like that story is just. Pitch Perfect. It's probably one of the best known EU novels and novel series. So the adaptation of that and having it be up to snuff is number one.
The EU doesn't exist.
Yes, it does. Just stop. Just stop that with that wild accusation. And then the other one is and probably the biggest question I have on this is what happened to Ezra Bridger? What happened to our boy after the end of Rebels? We need closure on that. We need to know what happened. Because if Thrawn is out here being wild out of pocket, we need to know what happened to Ezra because he was on that same ship with them. So that's a main question that needs to get answered. And I better see results. And I almost had a Freudian slip and said Ezra Miller, but we know that is not who I'm talking about. We're talking about the good Ezra. Okay, I'm talking about a real Ezra, a man who put Ezra's name on the map. Okay, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Next one is okay. Loki has a release date now. So what do you think we will see there?
Well, we're going to see our boy from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Time slipping is going to be interesting how they do that. The way that they had Sylvie is interesting because it seems like she's more lost in time rather than kind of taking over for the He Who Remains, it seems.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just eager to see how after everything that happened, how much of Jonathan Majors is and Majors' Kang is going to be in there.
Yes.
Because of just all the wild accusations. We know they tried canceling your boy and ultimately failing.
I feel like, well, not I feel like, I think they're still trying to prosecute for some reason.
Again, they're trying and they're failing. Okay. And as such, what's his role going to be? Are we going to see even more variants of other characters? Are we going to see more Loki variants?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to see returning Loki variants like Gator Loki
and Kid Loki as well?
Oh yeah, I guess Kid Loki too. But it's all about Gator Loki. Gator Loki is him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I need Throg, the Frog Thor. Okay, so yeah, that's the main thing I want to see there. All right. What are you most excited for that's coming before the end of the year?
Well, I want to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so that's the I don't want to say it's the most. I think Ahsoka is probably the most that I'm excited for at the moment.
Let's see. Considering you already know my answer, it's gonna be Ahsoka. And actually, nah, that's not my most excited thing. I'm sorry, I lied. Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay. The gaming sphere. That makes sense.
Spider-Man 2. It has to be Spider-Man 2. There's no choice. The Star Wars side of me, I love Ahsoka. Don't get me wrong. Sword of Jedi. I love her. All right. I love the show. But Symbiote Parker.
Yeah.
We are going to heal the world. Come on, man. Tony talk. No, let's
That's a good point. Yeah, keep going.
Let's move on. All right. Thoughts on The Witcher?
I haven't finished part 2 of season 3.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the second part of season 3 as well. It's actually on my to-do list because there's a large one from DreamCon. Yes. So it's in my catalog, but I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping there's a perfect send-off for Henry Cavill.
Yeah, so we'll discuss that at a later time.
Yeah, and judging from the news, it looked like season 4 might be in trouble.
Lord have mercy.
Partially because of the strikes.
Mm-hmm.
And partially because nobody wants to see Liam Hemsworth as Geralt of Rivia. So that's all the questions I have from Sword of the Jedi and all the questions I got in period. What you have?
So from Sarah of Interest for her first question, who is the greatest Sith Lord in the Star Wars universe?
Are we talking EU or are we talking canon?
EU.
All right. So you want my top 5? You want me top 1?
Top 3.
All right, top 3. Okay. Number 3, giving it to Sidious because it's Sidious. Number 2, Daddy Vader. Because he's the chosen one. Number 1, Revan, because he is him.
That's
And
fair.
and number 4, I give it to Bane because rule of 2.
Okay. I gotta go Big Daddy V just because of the conversation we had about like comics Vader. So
Oh yeah, Comic Vader is nice, but Revan is nicer.
all right. So do you think GTA 6 will be the last of its series? In my opinion, no.
Heck no. Nah, that is a money making machine. They gonna make GTAs till time runs out.
We're getting at least to 10.
At least GTA X?
No, interesting.
GTA X? Come
But Xbox might not let them get that off.
man, you know good and well they gonna try.
All right. So next question. Was Barbie better than Oppenheimer? I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. But what I will say is that in 10 years, I will probably, if I'm still alive, I probably have watched Barbie more than Oppenheimer. But Oppenheimer is probably going to be like the Academy Awards better quote unquote movie.
Yeah, in my opinion, judging from the two, I personally liked Oppenheimer more than Barbie, only because of the fact like it's a historical piece about a character about a real life person from the point in history that I am most interested in. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's the one I personally like more. The box office records showing that it's the Barbie movie that's currently winning at the current moment.
Mm-hmm.
But we will see. We'll see at the end of the day because both are hits.
So you've seen Barbie?
Yes.
So you know that somebody that was Ken that we talked about.
Yes.
So we're not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but I've been wanting to say that because I didn't know when you watched it or not for the longest.
Oh yes, because I just watched it before DreamCon. I'm not even gonna
Okay. All right. And for the last question for her, what was y'all favorite moment together on the podcast?
Oh, oh man, there's been a lot of great moments on this podcast. There's been a lot. I think like one of my favorite moments was the anime. No, not no. It was the X-Men draft. I'm because I went full demon on that one. I had no remorse with who I picked, and that continues to be like probably my greatest highlight because y'all wanted to pick like okay, y'all wanted to be the good guys. I wanted to be the villain. And
Yeah.
I won that one clearly.
That one was decimation. For me, I would say probably the sports tournament one. Well, not sports, not sports. It was the movie one. Yeah, greatest sports movie of all time
Sports movie
tournament.
draft, yeah.
Yeah, that one was insane. I mean, we were literally like in tears. We were sweating. We were just laughing. It just like it was so hard to pick some of them, and then just like the ending of it was so funny.
And don't forget the backlash after.
Yeah, we definitely
Was,
we definitely heard it.
oh, that one was insane.
That was definitely one of my favorites. And then just like also DreamCon, but that's technically not the pod, but through the pod, we were able to kind of connect and get to that.
Yeah.
All right. So for the next question, these next two questions are literally my favorite two questions. People that actually listen to the podcast. And I love them so much for asking me these questions. Question for the podcast. What are your thoughts on the mention of non-human bodies by military members during the UFO hearings?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. What are your thoughts?
I never thought I'd see the day when Congress outright confirmed. I was out here like, no.
Yes.
No, they did not. I'm out here watching footage. I'm watching it like forward, back. I'm watching it in 0.25x speed. I'm like, hold on, let me make sure I heard correctly. I'm putting in like noise canceling headphones. I'll make sure I catch every single word and every single clip. The fact that y'all confirmed that they are aliens.
What did I tell you? I said there are aliens that are real that we both agreed about. And I said that they are here. And Congress literally said they are here and they've been here. Validation.
Where my symbiote at?
I'm not crazy. So for the next one, which another listener, someone that's been on the podcast, Oh man, you have no idea how happy I am they asked this question after the random fan theory that got me banned from random fan theories for the rest of the podcast happening. What are your thoughts on artificial intelligence and how employees use things like ChatGPT to speed up their work applicable? Yeah, work where applicable. Will some jobs be replaced by AI? If you listen to our last main podcast where we did the game tournament, I talked about AI. Meech, what are your thoughts?
I hate this. I hate this day. All right, here we go. First of all, I think people are getting lazy out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've lived our entire lives without AI. We lived good. And we living fine. To answer your question, there's this movie out there. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure everybody has seen it. And if you're over at the age of 6, you should have seen it. It's a pretty famous movie, you know. Stars a pretty world renowned figure, former governor, and it's a little known movie called The Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the fact is that we pushing this AI thing way too far. See, firstly, it started with that one lawyer who used ChatGPT to make their arguments and end up getting fired and losing their license because
as they should.
You too lazy. Who's next? Next up, we're actually gonna have Kevin from She-Hulk, because that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have Kevin. The writers is not gonna be there anymore. We're gonna have AI artists. Comics is gonna be drawn by AI. And when people start complaining about it, it's gonna be too late.
Like they did with Secret Invasion?
Yes. It's gonna be too late. In fact, there's actually even another property out there that also deals with AI. It's another pretty famous property too. It's much closer than you think. It's called Detroit Become Human.
Woo.
We are slowly approaching Detroit Become Human territory. And we know what happens in that game. All the possibilities of it.
Yes.
Sure, there were a few good outcomes. That one requires the most work. I say it's better to pull the plug now before we end up, becoming like the humans in Wall-E.
Jesus.
Before we end up being smoked in a pack by Skynet.
Yes.
Before we get put into a pack by all of the androids, Dragon Ball and otherwise. Cell, stop it.
iRobot.
No. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Android 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 13, 14, and 15. 8. I need all y'all to stop. Stop now before it's too late.
All right. Again, I love the person that asked this question because they listen to the pod. And yes, I talked about AIs and from software games, but I don't need to repeat that. So it's only a matter of time before humanity's destruction is assured.
And this is why I have to thank Siri every time I use her, because I'm trying to make sure that at least I have an advocate.
Yes. And since we're down this route, one more question just to personally annoy you. Did you see about the guy that made the dog suit and like turned himself into a dog? What are your thoughts?
Where's my swords at? Where are my swords at? Because spending $20,000 to turn yourself into a dog and going outside for the first time to touch grass as a dog, no, sir. There are hobbies. See, listen, there are some things in life, See, there are things that are forgivable. You know what I'm saying? There are things that you could realistically do, and you can still be saved. This is not one of them. This and naming your child #follow. Both of those things, you need to go to the gulag. You need to go under the jail. You need to go to maximum security prison. Because next thing is for that guy who has a suit to turn himself into a dog. You know what happens next for him?
have some predictions.
Yeah. You want to know what my top prediction is?
What is?
Edward.
That wasn't my top prediction.
Edward.
That's
Big
wild.
Brother Ed. That's what's next for him, okay?
I feel like there's one more step between that, and it's illegal to do it.
Are we talking the Michael Vick illegal or the you know what?
Fucking me, you know what?
See, I just wanted. All right, I think it's time for AI to take over. It's raps for humanity.
That was my point.
It's raps. No, it's scratched it. It's raps for humanity. Actually, you know what? Screw this. I'm going on Saber. I'm creating Saber myself, and there will be no invitees. It's basically Noah's Ark, but for me.
Wait, maybe the Winter Soldier was right where it would like take out humans beforehand. That person needs to go.
Thanos was right.
Yes.
Black was right.
So to wrap,
was right.
So to wrap up,
you're eliminated.
The mailbag episode, I will say arrest this man before Valentine's Day.
Before I get to
him. All right, so let's get to our recommendations.
Okay, so all right, so I already mentioned the Terminator and Detroit Become Human, but if you want to see a better adaptation of Secret Invasion, watch season 2 of Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and the animated series on Disney Plus, and it's literally just all about the Secret Invasion comic book storyline, and it's done incredibly well. So yeah, watch Ahsoka when it drops. Watch Saw 10 when it drops. I don't recommend the Exorcist one because that don't look good. Watch it at your own risk. Don't be putting Ouija boards out there, and don't be using them. And also get rid of all AI programs. Just get rid of that now. And then just watch our previous episode for our DreamCon recap. That's all I got.
Yeah, so I only have 2 recommendations that can kind of tie into what's hot, but My Adventures with Superman, you can catch that on Max, or also Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. I heard it's really, really good. And then also Harley Quinn season 4 dropped. So with that, we can get into, a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to take a minimum 2-week break just to kind of recharge our batteries. Like you can tell the fact that this episode got really released late in the week, kind of like with DreamCon. So we're super tired. We need a break from this and from humans. So with that, Ahsoka comes back August 23rd. Again, wrap that up in kind of pencil, not pen, but we will be doing weekly episodes. Sword of the Jedi, we already know what's going to happen. So we might as well figure out a timeline for that. So with that,
contact.
Exactly. So with that, we're going to come back with a 2-part Naruto character study. Super excited to do that. We're going to cover Naruto, the first batch of it, and then Shippuden in the second batch. So yeah, let's get into our plugs and get up out of here.
All right. Instagram and Twitter, or should I say X, Blurred City 22. I don't get why it's X nowadays. Elon Musk. He's gonna end all of you. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and take that.
He kind of reminds me. You know the guy from Horizon Forbidden West that destroyed humanity just because.
Oh my God.
With AI.
It's raps for humanity. All right, it's raps for all of humanity. I'll kickstart the apocalypse first. Okay, Zamaku. All hail Zamasu. And then we got ourselves our Discord linked in our Instagram page, YouTube and Patreon, Blurred City Pod. Listen to us on all podcast platforms. Donate a little extra cheddar on the Patreon to release exclusive episodes dedicated straight to you. That'll never get seen through the light of day unless something perilous happens to somebody. Probably me because I got a target on my back. And then we got ourselves our email, blurredcity22@gmail.com. That's where you can submit Geek Out Freak Out episode suggestions and all that good jazz. Personal page, Rogue Jedi 21 on TikTok. I don't even think we have a TikTok anymore. I heard it's still out there, but not in certain states. and then finally, just end all humanity. What you
All
got?
right. For my individual author pages, which maybe may not matter anymore. For my Instagram, we have Metri underscore dash METRI underscore DASH ASH. For my X or post Twitter, at Mad 16. And then if you're interested in my book, Phantom Pains, a Most Irregular Tale, you can catch that on Amazon. So we're not going to give any words of encouragement, but we can give you some advice. Meech, what do you have?
End all AI, tighten up humanity. If not, I will come after you. And all of the terrible CGI and all your recent projects, they all coming after you. Gaia with the Drax arm gonna come after you. That kid in Thor: Love and Thunder gonna come after you, and everything in the Flash is gonna come after you,
The rubber babies.
and the rubber dog. They all coming after you. So just tighten up.
My advice: be on the lookout for aliens and scrolls. And don't let this man anywhere near a female dog. So with that being said, let's just say it's goodbye for now. And that's the Blurred City Podcast.
I ain't seeing y'all again.